And we're back again with another video. We live in this world where half of the foods that we eat are processed. But did you know that there are foods out there that, if you know how it's made, may cause you not to eat it again? So from a food made from human hair to a food that have mouse poops on it, here are the top 10 foods that will surely shock you if you know how it has been made. So without further ado, let's start. Number 10. Bread made out of hair. Many of you might not believe me when I say that there is a bread that is made of human hair. And yes, you heard it right. This bread is made out of amino acid that came from human hair. It claims that it makes bread last longer, and it is also cheaper alternative ingredient for bread. So before you puke, let me just clarify one thing. The ingredient is not an actual human hair, but the powder that came from human hair after processing it. So you can assure that you will not find a single strand of hair on the bread. Well, I think not unless if the person who's in charge in making bread accidentally had a hair fall. Well, nevertheless, if you're the consumer, would you still buy this kind of bread? Now, that's the question. Number 9. Crushed insect. Well, this is for the people who love cinnamon. Who would believe that every time a farmer harvests cinnamon, they are also harvesting the insect that is stick on the cinnamon? And guess what? These insects are hard to filter out, so they are mixed after the manufacturer processes cinnamon powder. Well, based on research, you can find up to 400 parts of insects in every 50 grams of cinnamon powder, making it one of the most usual ingredients that is actually somehow gross. But is it safe? Well, it is. But the real question here is, would you still eat a cinnamon powder after knowing these things? Number 8. McNuggets secret. Have you ever tasted the most famous food of McDonald's, which is McNuggets? Well, if you ever tasted it, would you believe that this is actually not fully made of chicken? A lot of people love eating McNuggets, but only few know the secret ingredient of this flavorful food. You might be shocked to know that 50% of these nuggets are made of some type of plastic that we commonly saw on breast implants. But even though it is made of plastics, there are no scientific evidence that shows that this type of plastics can harm one person. So up to this day, McDonald's uses these ingredients on their McNuggets. Number 7. Ingredient that could kill. If you are a fan of soda or soft drinks, even junk foods, well, you needed to watch this next video. Cause this food uses artificial food coloring called tartrazine. It is to brighten up the color of these foods. But the problem is, it is not good for our health because according to studies, this food coloring ingredient may cause asthma, migraine, or even cancer. And children who consume this type of food are the most vulnerable since they don't have that much immune system to fight it. But it doesn't mean that an adult is not vulnerable. All of us are vulnerable. So just decide whether you wanted to enjoy this food or enjoy your healthy body. Number 6. Ice cream. It is no secret that our food nowadays are mostly processed. Does this also mean that there are chemicals that has been mixed on it? But did you know that an ice cream is also one of it? Yes, your favorite dessert has a chemical called antifreeze that is most commonly used on vehicles machine to prevent the machine from freezing. And that is what it does on our ice cream. The reason why our ice cream never froze is because of antifreeze. That even though it is weird to think that a chemical used in vehicle is part of our food, but there is actually no evidence that it could harm human beings. Number 5. Gelatin. Did you know how gelatin was made? Well, first of all, we all know that gelatin is one of the most famous ingredients on baking. But did you know that it is hiding a disgusting secret? Well, it is because gelatin is made from boiling cow or pig's meat. that if you ever see the process of doing it, well, I'm sure you might feel disgusted about this. Well, it's not just that. Some cosmetics are using gelatin as their ingredients. So imagine putting cow or pig's meat on your face without realizing it. Number 4. Fish on chemical. What would you feel if I tell you that there is a fish on market that instead of swimming on water, it swims on a chemical to look fresh in the eyes of a customer? There are fish in the market that sprinkled with sodium tripolyphosphate to make it more shiny. But even though it looks good in our eyes, it is still dangerous for human consumption because sodium tripolyphosphate contains neurotoxin that can possibly damage our organs. Number 3. Vanilla ice cream. Vanilla ice cream is one of the most famous desserts that many of us love. But what if I told you that the vanilla, which is the most famous flavor of ice cream, came from an anal glands of beavers? Yes, that is right. It may sound gross, but it's true. Anal glands of beavers makes vanilla more flavorful, and it actually don't have any bad side effects. So if you are a vanilla lover, the real question here is, after knowing all these things, would you still want vanilla flavor? Number 2. Hydrolyzed soy protein MSG. MSG is one of the most common ingredients that our daily food has. But do you know that this ingredient can harm us? Hydrolyzed soy protein MSG usually seen on our canned goods to preserve the foods for a longer period of time. But did you know that there are people who are allergic in this ingredient? Hydrolyzed soy protein MSG can cause weakening of immune system of the person who is allergic with this. And because it is hard to see if one food has an MSG on it or not, we as people should be more careful on what we eat every day. Number 1. Mouse poop. I know all of you will be disgusted to know that most of the spices that we eat has mouse poop in it, and even Food and Drug Administration says that it is true. The reason behind this is because the spices that we have are naturally came from the places which is near on the habitat of mouses. That's why it is not shocking to know that our spices might have been mixed with poop of mouse. And yes, it is still dangerous. That is why Food and Drug Administration are being strict on the company that produces spices product to minimize or possibly eliminate this kind of event. But because it is nearly impossible to eliminate this kind of event, would you still consider using spices on your food, knowing that it may contain mouse poop? Well, I guess we don't actually have a choice. We would just hope that the company would take care of its consumer. And that includes our today's video. Yeah, food is life. But the reality is our health is the real meaning of life, so we better take care of it. After knowing all foods that might shock you, would you still buy these foods? Or you would just look for an alternative? Please comment down below. So that's it for our today's video. If you have story topic suggestion, please comment down below. This is your bro, Researcher TV. Till next time.